Hey, so it looks like you might be interested in what it takes to live long-term here in Portugal. It's been almost 3 years since I packed up all of my things and moved here. But since then, so much has changed here in Portugal, and I wanted to make a detailed video on the requirements to move here. So here it is. In this video, I'm going to list all of the pathways to residency and ultimately citizenship here in Portugal. As I said, many things have changed in Portugal over the past year, but Portugal is still one of the most popular places that retirees, digital nomads, and political refugees are choosing to move to. I will do my best to provide the most current and up-to-date accurate information. But keep in mind that changes can happen quickly here in Portugal. However, most of the main requirements in this video have remained the same with some minor updates. If you want to learn every step I took to get my visa approved, including my timeline, the resources I used, and my overall approach, visit davidportugal.com or click the link in the description below to get my Moving to Portugal guide. From the moment I stepped foot in Portugal, I was in love. This organized chaos that is Lisbon just pulls you in. So many colors and beautiful narrow streets and alleyways. It just felt like a place I wanted to call home. I always tell people Portugal is like a fine wine. It can be a little bit bitter at first, but in time it opens up and is beautiful and complex. This country has many things to offer everywhere you turn. It's like endless discoveries of new things. Nature, city, ocean, beaches, the amazing people, and the food. This isn't just another visa process overview. It's the story of my exciting journey to this beautiful country. Get ready to explore with me as I share my adventure scouting amazing locations like Lisbon, the Algarve, Porto, Alentejo, and the stunning Madeira. I'll walk you through my entire process, from it just being an idea in my head to making it a reality. This is some guy named Dave in Portugal, and this is my Moving to Portugal guide. Right now, it's currently 35% off until Black Friday. Don't miss out. If you are from the United States, you can stay in the Schengen area for up to 90 days. If you want to stay longer, you will need to apply for a long stay visa. Let's look at the types of long stay visas to see which one might be right for you and if you even qualify. Now we're going to start with the two most popular visas first. The D7 Retirement or Passive Income Visa and the D8 Digital Nomad Remote Work Visa. D7 Retirement or Passive Income Visa. This is the residence visa that I initially entered on and is one of the most sought after options for those looking to establish themselves in Portugal. This visa is designed for a diverse range of applicants, particularly those who can demonstrate sufficient assets and ideally have a form of passive income that is sourced outside of Portugal. Here are the basic requirements. The primary applicant must provide evidence of sufficient financial resources to support themselves. This translates to a minimum requirement of 820 euros per month, which amounts to a total of 9,840 euros per year. Make sure to check what the current minimum wage is when you're doing your calculations. Now, if the first applicant is accompanied by other applicants, each additional adult must demonstrate financial means equal to 50% of the minimum wage. This will require proof of an annual income of 4,920 euros. For applicants who are under 18 years of age or for dependent children who are over 18 but still rely on the main applicant for support, they must show that they can meet 30% of the minimum wage. This amounts to an annual income of 2,952 euros. It's crucial to note that while these are the minimum financial requirements, demonstrating a stable income that exceeds these thresholds significantly increases the chances of visa acceptance. This not only shows financial reliability, but also reassures the authorities of the applicant's ability to thrive and contribute positively during their stay in Portugal. Now we move on to the new and popular digital nomad visa. This residence visa is specifically designed for digital nomads looking to live in Portugal while working remotely. To qualify for this visa, applicants must meet monthly income requirements that are notably higher than those associated with the D7. Currently, the minimum wage in Portugal is set at 820 euros per month. Therefore, to be eligible for the digital nomad visa, individuals must demonstrate a monthly income that is 4 times this amount, totaling approximately 3,280 euros per month. This requirement ensures that digital nomads can support themselves comfortably during their stay in Portugal, contributing positively to the local economy while enjoying the vibrant culture and lifestyle that Portugal has to offer. Now, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video. Frustrated with costly roaming fees, unreliable SIM card vendors, or those endless airport lines just to maintain connectivity while traveling? Let me introduce you to the sponsor of today's video, Saily, your perfect travel companion. With Saily, you simply install an eSIM once, eliminating the hassle of swapping for each country. One eSIM covers over 160 destinations. Wave goodbye to roaming fees with their budget-friendly eSIM plans, whether you are exploring multiple countries or enjoying a single destination. Saily offers both global and regional plans tailored to your needs. All you need is to download the Saily app, select the country data plan you need, and enter Dave Portugal at the checkout to get 15% off. Activate the plan before your arrival, and once you land, you're immediately connected and you have data. Save time and skip the lines. Stay connected the moment you touch down. Need assistance? Saily provides round-the-clock customer support and a full refund guarantee for your peace of mind. With Saily, staying connected while traveling is easy, affordable, and secure. Download Saily today and embark on your smarter travel journey. Now, back to the episode. D1, Employment Visa in Portugal. This residence visa is specifically designed for individuals who have secured employment in Portugal prior to their arrival. It grants a validity period of over 12 months, allowing successful applicants to live and work in the country without the need for frequent renewals. However, it is important to note that this visa is not suitable for those who are currently seeking employment opportunities in Portugal or for individuals who intend to search for a job upon their arrival. If you do not have a confirmed job offer, it would be advisable to explore other visa options that cater to job seekers. D2, the Entrepreneur Visa. The residence visa designed for entrepreneurs seeking to initiate an innovative enterprise in Portugal requires a comprehensive understanding of specific criteria. To qualify, applicants must present a detailed and thorough business plan that outlines their innovative concept, market analysis, operational strategy, and financial projections. Furthermore, sufficient capital funds must be demonstrated to ensure viability and sustainability of the proposed business. It's important to note that this visa is intended specifically for businesses that focus on innovation and development. As such, it does not extend to traditional brick-and-mortar establishments, including but not limited to restaurants, Airbnb properties, or other conventional business models. The emphasis is on fostering entrepreneurship that brings new ideas and advancements to the Portuguese economy. D3, the Highly Qualified Activity Visa or Tech Visa. This residence visa has been specifically crafted for highly skilled foreign nationals who possess expertise in certain key industries. To determine your eligibility, you must fulfill one of the following criteria: a valid job offer. You must have a confirmed job offer from an employer based in Portugal. This offer should detail the position, responsibilities, and the terms of employment. An accepted job offer with specific conditions. If you have an accepted job offer that is valid for a minimum duration of 12 months, it must also meet the financial requirement of providing an annual salary that is at least 1.5 times the current minimum wage set in Portugal. This ensures that you will be adequately compensated while living and working in the country. Postgraduate qualification or professional certificate. You must possess a postgraduate degree or professional certificate in a field that is regulated by Portuguese law. This includes areas such as healthcare, engineering, and finance, where specific licenses are required to practice. Professional qualification in non-regulated industries. Alternatively, you can qualify if you have a recognized professional qualification in a non-regulated sector. This may involve fields such as technology or the arts, where formal regulation are less stringent but still demand a high level of expertise. D4, the student visa. This resident visa is specifically designed for foreign students who are not from the European Economic Area and wish to extend their stay in Portugal for more than 3 months. To qualify for this visa, applicants must be enrolled in an accredited educational program. This can include university, colleges, or other recognized institutions of higher learning. Additionally, students may also qualify if they are participating in a voluntary or professional internships that is associated with their field of study. In terms of compliance, visa requirements stipulate that individuals must maintain a minimum passing grade in their courses, which ensures that they are making satisfactory academic process. Furthermore, students are required to maintain an attendance rate of at least 75%. This attendance requirement underscores the importance of engagement in their academic pursuits while residing in Portugal. All these conditions work together to support the educational objectives of students while providing a structured framework for their stay in the country. D5, college continuation visa. This residence visa is specifically designed for individuals who are enrolled in a college or university programs and are aiming to pursue their post-secondary education. To qualify this visa, applicants must adhere to certain criteria, which include maintaining a minimum passing grade in their courses and achieving an attendance rate of at least 75% throughout their academic term. It is essential for students to actively engage in their studies and attend their classes regularly, as these requirements ensure that they are making satisfactory academic process while residing in the country. D6, family reunification visa. This residence is designed for individuals who hold legal residency in Portugal and wish to bring their immediate family members to live in the country. Specifically, this visa allows for the inclusion of a spouse, dependent children under the age of 18, and financially dependent parents who are over the age of 65. To apply for this visa, the primary applicant must demonstrate their legal residency status in Portugal, which can be verified through documentation such as a resident permit or similarly legal proof. The process generally includes filling out the necessary application forms, submitting valid identification for all family members being brought to Portugal, and providing evidence of the financial means to support these dependents during their stay in the country. It's important to ensure that all dependent family members meet the eligibility criteria, which includes age restrictions for children and financial dependency status for parents, through the purchase of residential real estate. And finally, the famous Golden Visa, or ARI. Now, this visa has changed quite a bit in the past year. And of course, there's much discussion about the Golden Visa. Known for its significant opportunity for residency in Portugal, it's important to note that as of 2024, the program no longer allows for the option of obtaining residency through the purchase of residential real estate. This change aims to encourage various forms of investment that contribute to Portuguese economy. To qualify for a Golden Visa in 2024, potential applicants can choose from several investment options, each with specific criteria. Investment in qualifying funds. Individuals can invest in a minimum of 500,000 euros in qualifying funds. These funds typically include venture capital funds that focus on supporting businesses and innovative projects within Portugal. This option not only facilitates residency, but also aims to foster economic growth through strategic investments. Investment in a company. Another pathway is to invest 500,000 euros or more into a Portuguese company that either creates at least 5 new jobs or maintains 10 existing jobs. This investment must be directed towards an enterprise that has contributed positively to the local economy, ensuring that funds help stimulate job creation. It's essential to understand that while all the Golden Visa applications follow a general process, there are some nuances depending on the specific type of investment. Because it has its own distinct requirements, it typically necessitates the involvement of a legal professional to navigate the complexities of the application process. So if you're interested in the Golden Visa, I would recommend hiring a reputable attorney here in Portugal. Overall, these options provide investors with multiple avenues, not only to gain residency in Portugal, but also significantly impact the country's economy through their investments. To discover all of the essential details in a step-by-step guide, visit daveinportugal.com or click the link in the description below. My guide is currently 35% off until Black Friday. I truly hope this video has provided you with valuable insights into what it takes to qualify for long-term living in Portugal. It's such an amazing country and I've genuinely enjoyed my time here. It's a joy to share my experience with those interested in making this beautiful place their home. Navigating life in Portugal can be a bit of a challenge, especially for Americans, but it's crucial to approach this journey with respect and an open heart. Remember, you're stepping into a vibrant culture, leaving behind what didn't serve you. Embrace the uniqueness of Portugal rather than trying to recreate what you know from home. Learning about local customs and traditions is essential, and even a few basic phrases like please and thank you and how to respectfully address others can make a world of difference. I've created many helpful videos on these topics, and I'm excited to share more. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on future content. Let's embark on this wonderful adventure together, and welcome to the community. This is some guy named Dave in Portugal, and hopefully someday we'll see you around. Até logo.